Hey everyone, it's Victoria Zates, Psychic Medium, and I'm doing a video series on boosting your intuition for the weekend intensive workshop that I'm teaching here in Pittsburgh on June 7th and 8th. That is at the First United Methodist Church of Pittsburgh. It's called Intuitive Living, Trusting the Wisdom of Spirit in Everyday Life. And it's going to be from 3 to 8 p.m. both days. Really excited to bring this to you guys. It's coming up pretty soon, but you can still register on the website, victoriazates.com. I'm also doing a referral program. So if you know of anyone else who could really benefit from this and they're in Pittsburgh, please let them know about it. I'll share this video and pass it along to them. And if both of you sign up, you both get a discount of $25 off the registration fee. And you can get the discount by just registering with a deposit on the website, and then we will give you the discount at the door. So I wanted to get into the main meat and potatoes of this video, which has to do with one part you're going to learn at this workshop, and that is understanding the language of intuition. So the language of intuition speaks to us all the time, but most of the time we're not paying attention. Usually you will get things in a literal message, or you'll get them in a symbolic message. So I tend to be very literal in how I get information for people. So let's say, I pick up that you need to make a career change, and you were a teacher and you are really, your heart is really moving towards art or something like that. I would usually just be able to come out and say that to you. Someone who works more symbolically may get that information differently. I would generally feel a sense of discomfort, with how you're doing with your current job, and really feel that you need to make a change. Symbolically, maybe you'll see an apple, if you associate an apple with teaching, morph into a painting or something like that. That would be a symbolic way of getting the same message. So there's multiple ways of getting messages, and it's important for you to understand really which way that you work primarily most of the time. Usually it's going to be one or the other. Sometimes it's both, and sometimes it really depends on the message, but we're going to get really into feeling out and unpacking a symbol. So symbols, when they come through, a lot of the times they'll feel like your imagination, because, intuition mostly operates on the right side of the brain, so you're going to feel like it's something that you're imagining, but the difference is really in knowing that you're in a state to receive the information, and you just receive it symbolically rather than actively creating it, which is what you would do with your imagination. So we're going to talk about how to know if a message you're getting is symbolic or if it's literal. And generally what this speaks about is learning how to interpret information. And, I always say in this field, psychics are generally not wrong. I know that sounds like a big statement. We're wrong in certain ways. We may inaccurately interpret the information that we're getting for you, and that's generally where we might be wrong. So we have to learn how to really grasp, the full picture of what we're getting for you and how to interpret that accurately. And part of that is a conversation, with the person I'm reading for, to make sure that I'm on track with that. But there are ways to really feel things out. Of course, you want to interpret things correctly. You want to be accurate. No psychic is ever, 100% on that, because things change and people change, and If you're asking about someone else, everyone has their own free will, even as a result of something that you get intuitively, that could just change the entire path of things for you. So it's important to know that. The other thing we're going to talk about in this session is how to understand information from the past, from the present, and the future. So generally you will have an understanding of something you're getting has to do with the past. If you can kind of feel out a sequence of events that leads to the present of whatever your situation is, generally that will feel a lot like the past. And then, future information is more of where things are likely to go as a result of how things feel in the present. So these different time frames do feel a little bit different when you're receiving the information, and you need to understand how they feel for you. The last thing that we'll talk about in this session has to do with the responsibility that comes along with intuition, especially in reading for other people, if that's something that you're interested in doing. And it very much has to do with trust in the information you're receiving. It has to do with integrity and being able to be honest with what you're receiving, and knowing how to say that in an empowering fashion to someone, and not in a way that's going to give them a holy shit moment. You want to empower people with the information that you're giving, and there's a whole set of ethics around that, and a responsibility. So when you get information for yourself, you're responsible for decoding that information, taking it seriously, really listening to it, and understanding that it is a great gift, but it's also a responsibility to be true to yourself and to have integrity with the messages that you get. So I think that's it for this video. We'll do a short one this time, and look for another video next week describing the last couple of sessions. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time and attention, and blessings, and namaste.